Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to the farm. Earlier today, Justin came by to spread a pile of asphalt millings that we had lined up right over here where Trinity's walking. He told us during the last time he was here working on parking lot improvements that we would need probably about another 3 loads of millings in order to complete everything. We had 4 delivered and everything is looking very good. We attempted to move all of this stuff that's been sitting here for the past few months. If you recall, this is pieces for our high tunnel that's going to be going up right over there later this fall. But it was a little too much of a big task considering how long some of these pieces are, especially these over here, to try to get them through a gate and get everything moved. So we decided to just leave that as is for now. However, I think everything looks quite amazing over here. Mostly completed except for kind of those little small details that are over on this side. The first time that we did some parking lot improvements was back in May of 2023. We still had our little hothouse that was over here, and we got some mulch that we put down, thinking at the time that it was a great idea to have a mulch covered parking lot, not considering that the mulch would eventually compost and it would get completely muddy. So we ended up scraping that up, and then in April of 2024, as we were preparing to get the store up and running and get the garden center going, we had Justin come back to spread more millings that we got most of the parking lot done, or at least a good chunk of it, along with millings for the garden center during that time. And so now it is nice to look out and see that we have once again made some nice improvements for our customers, having some nice harder surfaces to drive on. As cars roll on this, it'll compact down, and of course as the sun hits it too. So definitely a nicer experience. We also came along and raised our walking path here because we had a few places where water would settle as it rained, and then Dragon came along with the tamper and tamped that down, so this is nice and compact. You may be able to see a little bit of the grade on either side now, so as it rains, hopefully water should now run down and away and off into one of the side areas. It does a pretty good job once it exits over here in this space at rolling right down between the barns, because this is a little bit of a sloped area right here, so water will definitely travel down that way, which is nice. Another section that we had Justin work on today was our butcher area in the back. When we got our last load of asphalt millings, Dragon came through. He and I worked on, we still had the Kubota. At that time, we had actually just gotten the big tractor, and he and I worked on preparing this space back here once we got the butcher setup in place, so that we wouldn't be standing in dirt or water that was pooling. And had Justin come through today and also add a few more millings back here in this space. So this is also looking much improved. We now need to just come back through and reposition all of our stuff, maybe even come through with the tamper just to tamp all of this down back here as well, so that it is nice and ready for butcher later this week. All in all, a wonderful day here at the farm. September 1st, fall-like weather for the past few days. Lots of busy activity here at the farm, and it's nice to see that we have improvements coming along with the change of the season as well, and hopefully our customers will enjoy them as much as we are. Happy Friday, everybody. We've made it to the end of the week, and I have to tell you right now, it's going to be a short vlog this week. I've been on work travel all week. I got back really early this morning. My flight didn't land into DC until around 1 a.m. and I jumped right up this morning, got my day going, and I've been going ever since. So we are still doing our best to just be consistent with bringing you guys along with the things we have been capturing so far this week. I will say that Dragon had a little surprise waiting for me when I got back, but we'll show you that either tomorrow or Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Earlier today, Dragon came in with a beautiful load of mums. I say beautiful even though they haven't opened up yet with their blooms, but there are some gigantic ones that we have, some really nice colors, and he is on his way back right now with load number 2 and also some pumpkins. So let's take a little walk around and see what Dragon, Cindy, and I unloaded earlier this afternoon. Here in the front we have some 10-gallon mum pots. These are single color mums. This giant pot here is going to be this beautiful yellow when it opens up. Over here, this is going to be a really nice orange. I believe that this is one of our favorite oranges that has a little bit of a pumpkin-y flavor to it. Chaz and Bruno, get out of there. Let's go. These guys are walking around. I don't want them disturbing the mums. Another one right here that's going to be orange. And right now you can see some of them have a few spillers in the pots, some creeping Jenny that's right there. That might not be too visible too much longer, but we have some of these giant mums on both sides of the entrance here. And then some 3-gallon mum pots are seated on the ground behind those, also waiting to color up, full of buds. And along in this section here, we have added a few more from the first load that Dragon brought. Whatever colors we don't have, he is bringing them in shortly. So even though most of the mums will look like this for a while, at least we'll be fully stocked. We're also, Cindy went through today and added what color everything is on them, so people will know what they will eventually open up as, so they don't have to go digging for the tag. Over here are some red mums. We have plenty of table space available, but that will all be full very soon. And looking forward to having a super Saturday here with the garden center looking beautiful and bountiful once again. It's nice this time of year when everything starts to really spill out into the front of the entrance, especially now that we have these gorgeous planters that we did a week ago. It's also time to start loading in pumpkins, and Dragon will be coming with some pumpkins on the trailer too as well. So we'll get those staged out here, and I'm sure folks will be ready for a little fall flair to add to their house, even though today's temperatures were close to 90 degrees and we're outside sweating right now. Once Labor Day hits around here, everybody's heart turns into fall. So we're doing what we can to help them get into the spirit sooner than later, even if the forecast isn't quite ready yet. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to our very first venture in getting the entire herd inside of our sheep shed. I don't think that I ever showed you guys the walls that were completely done. The last time we saw this on the vlog 2 weeks ago, the back had been completed, but not the sides. So as you can see now, those are also complete. And today, Dragon and I came along and finished doing a little bit of partitioning on the inside because we needed to get these pens ready, or at least a pen ready to get everybody in, because we have a really big storm heading our way. Dragon's gonna walk back over here exactly where he was standing before and talk to you guys. You stay there. I'll come this way. Happy Saturday, Dragon.
Oh, good morning.
Right over here. You keep
like it.
the sheep want to be there.
Oh.
Let's pause to get Bella's huffing and puffing out of the way. Bella, you have to go out.
I would never do that.
That's why I'm here, Bella. I make the tough decisions happen.
Hi, ladies. No, it's good. There was a big storm coming in, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it. But we may build 2 pens. There's a sick baby over there. Still dealing with some issues, unfortunately. So that's a sick baby. And we also need to get gates fixed up so they're actually usable. Now we have them just tied down. But yeah, looks good. We put up the boards because this is somewhat soft. It's not made to be leaned against stone. So we put the protective boards so sheep cannot lean against, because they kind of like to scratch and lean and stuff. So yeah, we gave them some hay. We're gonna also we have some sawdust. We're gonna actually spread the sawdust down for them.
And this was an end of an era today as well.
It was?
Yes. Where'd you get those panels from?
Oh yeah, puppy pen. It's finally gone.
Well, not completely gone, but the enclosure is gone from the puppies. And Bruno immediately went over to his old spot to lay down and take a nap, because he's been out of there and either moving around or on a lead leash attached to the tree, so he has some more freedom and is getting used to his necessary restrictions here at the farm.
Yeah. So these are shorter cattle panel. I don't know if these are also called cattle panel, because the large ones are cattle panels. But they're shorter, they have a narrower spots on the bottom. Got them about 6 to 8 inches off the ground as well. And then we reinforced them with a 2x3 on this side. So again, it prevents the sheep from pushing against them on either side. So yeah, it came out pretty good. I think we'll keep it.
All right.
What do you think, Kevin?
I think yes. I think we have other chores to attend to before the rain comes in.
That's good.
So we're gonna leave you folks with a little sheep view as we head out. Happy Sunday, everybody. We are officially closed for the day. It is approaching 4 o'clock. We close early on Sundays, 3 o'clock. We're open 10 to 3 on Sundays, 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday. And now that we are closed, it's nice and quiet outside. We have a moment to talk with our favorite visiting baker, Jason with JB's Bake Shop. Wrapping up his annual sojourn down to Virginia to spend a little time with us. And we're going to now find out how was it this year compared to last year, compared to the year before that, compared to the year before that.
Well, you would think that just a year wouldn't make that much difference, but it's like you come and almost everything has changed. Like you come in just a year and there's sheep now. The store inside is totally different. There's new puppies on the farm. So things are just changing here so rapidly that it's hard to keep up.
That's a good thing for some people. But when you're living it every day.
I mean, or that just means I need to come more than once a year.
This is true. We hear this, as I told somebody earlier, we hear this every year. Right. And yet still he shows up once a year. A little earlier this year than in previous years. So you actually got to see the farm really transform over the last 2 weeks with some projects we had going on. You and David also too helping to load the garden center as we flipped it from summer to fall. So that was I'm sure a different experience. Yeah. We call them experiences, not exhaustion.
Gotcha.
What about your customers and stuff this year, the ones that you got a chance to reconnect with? How was that?
Yeah, it's nice to see familiar faces that I met last year, and even got a couple private messages on my Facebook from people that came out and got some stuff. But it's almost like I feel like I live here sometimes. Like even when we go out to Creekside or something like that, just seeing people that I met at the farm and that recognize me or remember me, and it's almost like a community here for me as well. Even though I come once a year, it's seeing all the familiar faces and recognizing everyone and continuing like if I've been here every day. So it's really nice to get back to see everyone and talk to them about what's been going on for the past year.
That's awesome. It's part of what we love about living here in King George, just the community support. Everybody really rallies around everybody, and people are very proud to live here. So we appreciate that about our community, and we're glad you felt the love this trip.
Absolutely.
Any closing words? Any promises to come back? Like, what should I tell people next week when they are asking about apple cider donuts?
I don't know. I mean, obviously a year is always, I love the fall, so definitely for fall. But I was talking to Dragon and mentioned it to you a little bit as well about maybe coming a little bit sooner. So somewhere between now and next fall, maybe doing kind of a 6-month revisit. May maybe.
We won't hold you to it just yet.
Yes, no promises.
We know how life can be.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
All right. Speaking of Dragon, let's wake him up from his nap and get him out here to close out with us.
That was even shorter.
This is gonna bring us to the end of our vlog for this week.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Even though I've been inside editing, I still don't even remember what happened this past week. We've had quite a few things going on. We've enjoyed having both Jason and David here with us. David, who refused to come out of the house just now to be on camera with us. But thank you also to you, David, for all of your help in the past couple of weeks. It's been lovely having you with us as well.
Inside joke.
Dragon.
What happened this week? I need to watch the videos. No, it was a good week. It was a really good week. Glad to have the boys here. Jason is always a treat when he comes down.
Sorry, my dad was calling. Had to decline the call.
Not right now.
Yeah, it was a treat having the guys here. I'm sure our customers appreciate it too, having a variety of baked goods. You let me taste a few.
Strawberry crunch.
Strawberry crunch was a huge hit. But yeah, mums are in fall. We're slowly ramping up for fall on the farm. So looking forward to the next couple of weeks to have the pumpkins out and the rest of the fall stuff. So.
And I want to say it and I don't want to say it about a project that I mentioned a week ago.
No,
So I'm not going to say anything.
It happens. It happens.
We'll bring you guys along day by day as much as we can as things unfold here on Farm Time. And until then, if you happen to be traveling through Virginia, coming down US 301 and driving through King George County, make sure you stop right here and see us at the farm. Everybody stay safe out there, and we'll see you again real soon.